hello. Happy Valentine's Day, FWBs. I am one of your FWBs. Read reviews by Jess or just Jess.
And I am your other FWB, booked with Emilee or just M. And this week we are talking all about our favorite romances because it is the month of love. We're here to celebrate it. So I'm excited about this. We're romance girlies. I think we have a lot of good recommendations and we actually have a lot of fun things to talk about this episode.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Honestly, we didn't do a ton of planning for this episode because I think romance is just in our blood. And this is just something we could talk about all day.
All day, baby.
All day.
Who are we imitating? Let us know. Slide into our DMs.
We're setting the scene for a quiz we're going to take for this episode. But how are you doing, Em?
I'm doing well. Jess was over my house this past weekend and she left and I immediately got sick. So I think she poisoned me. I said,
no, I didn't poison you. You're just having withdrawal, which makes more sense. I don't even know how to poison someone.
Yeah, that's what a guilty person would say. But I was bedridden all day Sunday. My saint of a husband literally went and bought me ginger ale, came home. But then I needed a heating pad. So went and bought me a heating pad, then came home and waited on me hand and foot. And I was like, I should be sick more often.
Right.
But now I feel totally fine. It's a really busy time at work. So we're squeezing this episode in when we have time. But no, I'm doing well. Started the gym yesterday.
So proud of you, Em.
Yeah. So, yeah, things are looking good over here. What about you, Jess?
Things are good. I honestly left Emilee's house and I was so sad, but
so sad.
My husband drove. It's a 4-hour drive between Emilee and I. And my husband drove home, thank God. And so I was like, I'm going to read a book. I'm going to finish a whole book in the car.
Yeah.
And so I was going through my Kindle library to see what book I could read in that time. And then I started Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I read like 2 chapters and then I just slept for 3 hours. So
that makes sense. I was actually kind of wondering because Jess and I got in a little bit of a fight this weekend and she texted me as soon as she left and she was like, I was just telling Devin about our fight and like, it was so dramatic. And I was like, I know it was dramatic. And then she didn't text me back for 3 hours. And I was like, she's either reading or sleeping. I don't know what's going on.
No, I fell right to sleep. I love sleeping in the car. That's one thing about me, especially when it's cold out and I can like turn my butt warmer on.
Yeah.
I can be like under a blanket. I got the heat. The motion of the car is just lulling me to sleep. It was actually amazing. It was really nice. But anyways, I don't know. Let's get into it. Let's take the quiz.
Let's do the quiz.
Okay.
Let me open it up. Okay, so we are going to take a BuzzFeed quiz, obviously, because what else would we do? And it is, I bet you're dying to know which character from New Girl would be your Valentine. So plan the perfect date to reveal yours. And then there's a quote underneath of it. And it says, I fell in love with Jess the minute she walked through the door.
Yeah. And that was Emilee's quote about me.
Exactly. Nick Miller, also Emilee.
I wish Nick Miller said that about me. Let's just pretend.
Me
Okay.
too.
Question number 1. Where would your ideal date be? At a bar, a fancy restaurant, at home, at a spa, or at a movie theater?
At home. For sure.
At home. Okay,
Yes.
that's fair.
We're big homebodies.
Yeah, we are also big homebodies. I would say this is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to say, let's go to the spa. I've never been to the spa, but I guess that's my ideal date.
I've never been to a spa either, but I did get we got a couples massage and it was really nice. I know that's not a spa, but let's do it.
Yeah.
Girls' Day.
I want to go to like one of those spas where it's like, you're like in a mud bath or like you're like in a hot spring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they put like cucumbers over your eyes and deliver champagne on a tray.
And like little mini sandwiches.
Yeah, maybe once we get rich, we can do something like that. Because I can't imagine
Subscribe to the pod so we can go to the spa.
We'll pick one of you to come along with us. Okay, next question. What would you wear? I'm assuming that it's talking about on the date, what we would wear.
Yeah.
Okay, so something playful, something sleek, something sexy, something professional, or sweatpants. Okay.
Something professional. No, I'm just kidding.
A business suit.
Well, I'm at the spa, so I guess I'm wearing... I don't know. I guess I'm wearing something playful because I'm in a robe.
Twirl the like little wrap around.
That's what I picked. I don't know.
I would be in sweatpants, but then probably since I'm at home, maybe later in the night, something a little sassy. But I'll go.
It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I'll go with something sexy because Tim would like that. So we'll go with that.
That's fair. Okay. What would be your beverage of choice? A margarita, juice, beer, kombucha, or water?
Guys, if you take this quiz, it's a there's pictures with each answer, and there's like a margarita, a picture of it, a picture of juice, a picture of beer, a picture of kombucha, and then for water, it's a scuba diver like in the ocean.
And then he has boxed water he's drinking. I don't know.
Okay, margarita. I'm gonna go with margarita.
I'm going to say I am fully embracing my spa health journey, so I'm gonna go with water.
Water? Okay. I was going to say kombucha, because isn't that really healthy too?
Yeah, but I cannot drink kombucha or I'll vomit.
I actually like kombucha, but certain flavors.
Really? I've never had one I like. I'm not a vinegar girly.
Oh, I used to take shots of apple cider vinegar in the morning.
Yeah, I tried that and I wanted to kill myself.
Okay. Wait, I did a ginger shot once. I was literally on my deathbed. It was so gross. It like burned my nose. Never do it again. Maybe I'm not a health girl.
Oh, did that come with your juice box when you did your juice cleanse? Or was that
separate? No, it didn't. I went on a juice cleanse once and I didn't eat for 3 days and just drank juices. And I'm impressed with myself that I was able to not eat for 3 days, but I also don't think it worked and was not worth the amount of money that I paid for it. So
yeah,
don't recommend.
I went on a 3-day juice cleanse as well. And I made it till 4:00 and then ordered Chipotle.
I remember that. That was after I left. We ate so much. Another thing about us. Every time we hang out with each other, we both seem to get constipated. So I'm not really sure what the situation is. But I left her house. We were both so physically ill, literally so bloated. And she's like, I'm going to do a juice cleanse. And I'm like, okay, great. And then I was like, how's your juice cleanse going? She was like, good. I'm eating Chipotle. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And one thing about Emilee and I is that we're both big foodies. And when we get together, we just have no chill. So it's chill. Let's eat a pound of nachos with the 2 pounds of cheese on them. Okay, and it really just goes downhill.
It does. But at the time, it's very uphill. Okay, so pick a meal to enjoy on your date. Pizza, pancakes, a charcuterie board, salad, or a cheeseburger.
I'm going to go with a charcuterie board.
Okay.
I feel like that just fit like the fanciness of the spa.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I totally agree. I'm going to go with pizza for sure.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Oh, I love pizza.
Me too.
I actually don't love pizza that much. It's not my favorite food.
I love pizza. I'm just kidding. I really don't. I do love pizza.
I'd rather have like a taco or like Chinese food. Anyways, pick a dessert to split on your date. Ice cream, creme brulee, a red velvet cupcake, chocolate pudding, or a donut.
I thought this said pick a dessert to spit on your date. And I was like,
yes, that too. What kind of kink is this?
I would go with, ice cream because it's easy. We could just like buy it in the store and then eat it out of the carton.
That's perfect.
Ice cream.
Oh, I'm between donuts and creme brulee. I feel like creme brulee fits the fancy spa vibe that I'm going for, but honestly, I'm a donut girly. My husband and I had donuts instead of cake at our wedding.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know that.
I swear I told you this before, but yeah.
If you did, I'm sorry. I forgot. All right. What gift would you give your date? Flowers and chocolate, beer, a new collar for their cat, clothing, or jewelry?
I think he'd probably want beer, but I'm going to get him a new collar for his cat, and by his cat, I mean my vagina.
Jess, I have so many questions. Actually, I'm not going to ask any of my questions I have for you.
I think that's self-explanatory.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm like, that makes perfect sense. You said that, and I'm like, you guys don't have a cat. Like, what do you mean? And then you're like, by cat, and I'm like, oh, she's going to say dog. And then she did not say dog.
Expect the unexpected, baby.
Always with you, Jess. I'm going to go with beer, because that's what he would want.
Okay, pick a song to dance to with your date. 22 by Taylor Swift, You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC, Groovy Kind of Love by Phil Collins, Still by Sienna Bose, Time of My Life by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes.
I'm torn between You Shook Me All Night Long and Is Time of My Life like I had the time of my life.
And okay. I never felt... Sorry.
We would probably do Time of My Life because I would try and reenact the Dirty Dancing dance to go along with that.
I think that sounds amazing.
And then one of us would get injured. So
yeah. I'm going to do 22 by Taylor Swift because I only knew Time of My Life.
You don't know You Shook Me All Night Long?
Maybe if you sing it to me.
You shook me all night long. Yeah, you.
No.
Okay. Well, I did the song justice.
Never heard that one.
Okay. And finally, pick a movie to watch at the end of the night. 50 First Dates, 21 Jump Street, The Hangover, Dirty Dancing, or Dear John.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you have to pick Dirty Dancing so you can accurately reenact that scene. I am going to pick 21 Jump Street. Right in the crack.
That's a good one. Finger popping each other's assholes. We weren't finger popping each other's assholes. I was going to pick 21 Jump Street because Tim has this thing with Channing Tatum where like he'll never speak a word about Channing Tatum. But then if he like sees like a commercial or a TikTok or something, he'll be like, Emilee, like Channing Tatum is my favorite actor. And I'm like, what?
Out of everybody?
Literally, that's what I say. I'm like, of all people, babe, like, so now I'm between 50 First Dates and Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
I'll go with Dirty Dancing because I do like a good 80s, 90s flick. And you're right. We would have to reference the scene.
To do the lift. Yeah.
Okay. Who did you get?
I got Schmidt.
Schmitty!
Schmidt is clean, maybe too clean, organized, stands for what he believes in, strives to be top dog, wants to be the most successful. He loves a good kimono moment. He's the king of having to put money in the douchebag jar and loves to start some drama. We hope you're ready for this sassy, charming date. And then there's a gif of him saying, can we just take a moment to celebrate me?
I actually love Schmidt. Like, I
love Schmidt
love
too.
him so much. I'm jealous that you get to go on a date with Schmidt.
Can I just say, out of all of the books I took account of my books. I have 514, okay? I have one that is my most prized possession, and it is a children's book written by Max Greenfield and signed by Max Greenfield, who, if you don't know, plays Schmidt. So, I'm happy with this answer. Honestly, would I ever go on a date like that? No. So.
But it was fun to pretend.
It was really fun.
Okay. I got Nick, which is not surprising. But it says, if you get Nick to take you somewhere other than apartment 4D, then you're probably going to hang out at the bar where he works at. This law school dropout is anything but charming. He's a procrastinator, lazy, grumpy, sarcastic, dependent on others, lacks confidence, and cannot express feelings for the life of him. Good luck with this one. You know what? I'll take it. I love Nick Miller too. He is
I do too.
So funny.
They left out funny, I feel like.
Yeah, but he is. Maybe sarcastic. Like, that's, I don't know. I actually don't think in real life, like, I would want to go on a date with Nick Miller because his basically laziness and his lack of ambition in life is a little bit of a turnoff. But I do like that he's a homebody, so I accept this.
I think that you would really have fun together, actually. I also don't know that Nick is actually intentionally funny. Now that I don't think any of them are actually intentionally funny except for Winston.
I was just going to say, I think Winston is like, he's meant to be like intentionally funny, but that was fun.
I like that. Yeah, it really
that was a
just
good one.
Got me out of my comfort zone. So that was fun.
Yes.
Let's get into it. But before we do that, actually, let's talk about our actual plans for Valentine's Day. What are you and Tim doing?
Pretty similar to the quiz I just took. We're definitely going to stay home, but I have been wanting crab legs in the worst way. And I'm somehow ended up on Judge Judy and crab leg TikTok. And so I just see people making crab legs all the time. So I think we're going to do like a seafood boil. So we're going to get like crab legs and shrimp and corn and potatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm excited, and we're just going to, like, make dinner and probably just get wine drunk and hang out at home. So, pretty chill.
I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
What about you guys?
We haven't talked about it yet, but we definitely stay home on Valentine's Day. We are not, like, ones to venture out into the crowds.
You're not going to go to the spa?
No, not this time. So, we're going to do something similar. We might make dinner together. We might make pad thai homemade.
Ooh.
But if we don't do that, then we'll probably order in like sushi or something like that. I love it. Yeah. I feel like sushi is like our go-to for like a date night at home just because it's like, I don't know, expensive and like it makes you feel like
it's kind of classy a little bit, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, I would love to get drunk too. That sounds great. When I was at Emilee's house, we actually both texted our husbands and we were waiting for our Thai food to be done. And I said, let's both text our husbands and ask them why they haven't asked us to be their Valentines. And so I texted my husband and I said, why haven't you asked me to be your Valentine? He said, it's not Valentine's Day yet. And I said, what if someone else asked me first? There's not many days left. And he said, will you be my Valentine? And I said, I'll think about it. And he said, wow, played me.
Mine went a little differently than that. Excuse me. So I texted Tim and I said, why haven't you asked me to be your Valentine? And he texted the same thing, Devin, because it's not Valentine's Day yet. And I said, but what if someone else asked me and I made plans? What about all the days leading up to it? And he said, if you have someone else you'd rather make plans with other than me, then you should probably just do that. Okay, I will. I was like, okay, this man really just gives no fucks. That's fine.
And then he got home and he talked about how she was his Valentine for 45 minutes.
Yes, he did. As soon as like I walked through the door or we walked through the door, he was like, will you be my Valentine? And I gave in rather quickly. I was like, okay.
She's like, I can't believe you asked. It's fine.
Do you guys do gifts for each other on Valentine's Day?
We don't really do gifts. I would say we like sometimes he'll get me like flowers and a card. I don't really want those things though. Like I guess they're fun.
Devin, if you're listening,
I do want gifts and quality time, and acts of service, and all of the other ones are my love language. So, like, I won't be mad at them, but yeah, we typically don't. I got him a Valentine's card, but I already gave it to him because I got Emilee, like, a Valentine's Day gift bag, but she already had half the stuff I got her. And when I was packing her bag, I was like, oh my God, I got you a card too. Do you want it? And I thought he would say no, but he said yeah. I didn't even sign it or anything.
Oh my God.
I literally pulled it out of the Target bag and I was like, oh my God, I got you this. And he was like, okay.
Dude, speaking of cards, they're fucking expensive as hell. They're so expensive. It's ridiculous. I got Tim a card, and it's so funny. I don't know if we're going to post this live on YouTube or not, but if you watch the video, it says with hearts, and then on the inside it says, love you, farts and all.
Aww.
But I typically don't buy him anything for Valentine's Day. Like, I'll get him a card, and like, if his present's usually me wrapped in something very skimpy. So that's his gift. But he'll usually do like flowers and a card as well. And then last year he made me dinner too. Like, I wasn't even allowed to go into the kitchen. So just small stuff, but I'm not.
Which is really big for Tim, because Tim does not cook in anything. He doesn't know how.
Literally nothing at all. At all. He can do a nice bowl of cereal, but he did make a really good dinner last year. He made chicken cacciatore, so he can do it. He has like—
he doesn't want to.
What's that thing called? It's on TikTok a lot nowadays. It's like weaponized. Like, he weaponizes his, like he can do it. He just chooses not to do it. I can't think of the phrase I'm thinking.
Imposter syndrome? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure. He could do it if he tried, but that's besides the point.
Okay. Let's get into the Rex.
So, as always, we will make a guide of all the books that we talk about and post it to our Friends with Books Instagram page. However, if you follow Jess and I on our personal pages, we both posted kind of like romance recommendations. Jess just posted one of her romance recs, and she kind of broke it out by clean versus spicy. And then I posted a guide that kind of has different tropes, my favorite ones. And then I got lazy towards the end and just threw on a bunch of books that I liked in there. So if you want to reference that before we post this, feel free to do that. Yeah. But we'll probably talk about a lot of the same books, honestly.
Okay, this is going to be like a really big shocker to everybody. My favorite romance of all time is After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think— are you shocked? I think this one is a more like serious romance, but all the same, I think it really gets you thinking about your relationship, and it's like a realistic love story. And it's like a second chance romance about a married couple. I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but if I was going to recommend a romance to somebody, it would be that one. And then my more like— or I'll let you go and then I'll do my other one.
Okay. I don't think that I have like an all-time favorite romance. But the one that most recently I read and really, really liked, I would probably say would be maybe Things We Never Got Over. That one sticks out a lot to me. I guess just I'll go with a couple, but I really like Magnolia.
I'm surprised you didn't say Love Letter to Whiskey. I feel like that's your go-to for a romance rec.
It is my go-to.
But that's more serious.
It is more serious, but also too, like, I read so many romances, so like even when I made my guide, like some just slipped my mind, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like, and now that you say that, I'm like, no, that I probably should have recommended that one. But another one too that I think gets overlooked a little bit as a romance would be The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't think that people like think of that one as a romance, but I think the romance story in it is so beautiful. So I would recommend that one to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would never classify that as a romance. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It just comes like, I think like that entire like 4 books, it's not a series, but that take place in that universe are all like historical fiction in my mind. Mm-hmm. But like, I definitely see it being a romance too.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
I would say my other all-time fave romances are Magnolia Parks. If you have not read that series, please read it.
We beg.
We plead. We're down on both knees.
Yeah.
We're not praying.
It's, it still is so shocking to me when I will post something about Magnolia Parks. Like, I'll include it in, like, books I recommend or something, and I'll still get comments of people being like, I've never heard of this series. And I'm like, do you live under a fucking rock? Like, you need to read this series. Like, this series is so amazing. And I just don't know how it doesn't have, like, everyone just, like, I don't know, raving over it. So yes, please read this series.
Yeah, I will say it's like more than a romance though. So, and I think Jessa, even that's the author, she'll like even say that. Like she maybe herself wouldn't classify it as a romance, but if you go to Barnes and Noble, it's in the romance section, but she classifies it, I think, as like a new adult or like a contemporary fiction with romance. So just something to keep in mind. It's definitely more than romance.
That's interesting. I would never classify it as anything but a romance.
Really?
No. I think
just
there's
think
a lot
so much
to
goes
it.
on. Yeah, I think it's too much goes on to just be one romance. Or just to be one genre of romance.
For sure. A lot goes on in it. But in my mind, it's a romance.
But read that book because we may or may not be doing something next month that will require you to have read that book for it to be the best experience possible for you.
Yeah, and if you joined our Instagram live when she was here last Saturday, Jess actually told you exactly what was happening next month. So.
I did not. I just said we were talking to an Australian author whose name starts with a I didn't even say.
Okay. So moving on. I think another one of my fave romances that I have read recently is Heartless by Elsie Silver.
Yeah.
This book, Jess is probably, it's on her list too, but this book was so good. It's the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. The first one, Flawless, was really good too, but the characters in Heartless I personally love them so much more. I like how grumpy he was, just the whole setting and the single dad and the plot. So I really, really like that one. And the third book comes out
just something on Heartless really quick. Oh, you're still going to talk about the series?
No, I was just going to say the third book's coming out soon.
Yeah. So I think these can technically be read as standalones, as most romance series these days, but I would definitely recommend reading Flawless before Heartless just because you get some backstory about a lot of the characters that are mentioned in the book, but you don't have to. And I agree with Emilee. I liked Flawless. I didn't love it. But Heartless was like phenomenal. I loved it so much. I did not want to put it down. I wanted to be with Willa or be Willa. I don't know. It was confusing.
Both. There were so many feelings. I definitely felt more than I probably should have for another female. But she just did that to me. So
she did. That's a good one.
What else do you have? Do you have any other favorites?
Okay. I think my last all-time favorite would be Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, which again is something that you all have heard me recommend so many times. I feel like the New Girl quiz that we took was kind of fitting because that book for some reason gives me New Girl vibes. The main character Hazel reminds me of Jess from New Girl, but less annoying. Mm-hmm. She's just quirky and she's funny, and I just love that book so much. And Josh M, baby, that's my ultimate book boyfriend. And honestly, I want to reread that book because I read it a couple years ago.
Same.
And I still talk about it. So I'm what if I don't like it anymore?
You will. No. Maybe don't read it. Just live in your little bubble. But I think you would. I 100% agree with Jess. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating is so quirky and fun. I personally don't like Jess and New Girl. I think she's annoying as hell. And I still love this book. So if you don't like Jess from New Girl, you will still love this book. It's so good.
Right. She's like Jess, but take out all of the annoying parts of Jess where she's just to quirky. Be too much.
Yeah. Just the outfit she'll wear and just her personality and stuff. She's really fun. She's a fun character to read about.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover is one of my favorite romances because I feel like it's a really emotional romance. It's a couple going through infertility and kind of how it affects their marriage. And it is a dual timeline. So you kind of see how they fall in love and how they were in the beginning versus their present day and really how just kind of the process of infertility has affected their marriage. So it's very emotional. It's very polarizing. Some people love it and other people don't really necessarily care for it. I definitely lean towards the love it side. I think it's a really, really emotional and by the end kind of empowering book. It gives you a lot of hope. So I would recommend that one too, but you'll definitely need a box of Kleenexes.
Yeah, totally. Next for me is, I think this is one that not many people have actually read. It's Dream On by Angie Hockman. And this came out last year and it is just I don't know, like, it's, like, such a sweet and swoony romance, I think, and it's just so cute. There's, like, he's, like, a flower shop owner. Maybe she is, actually. I don't really remember what happened, but I just remember being like, this is really cute, and she, like, has a dream about this person and she's like, I'm not going to tell you what it's about.
I've actually never heard of this book, so this is news to me. It's called Dream On. What else has she written? Something about okay, I was going to say Vacation. Yeah. They're on the cover of it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So she's like a feel-good romance?
Yeah, it's not really steamy. I don't remember it being, but I just remember it being, like, so cute, and I really liked it.
Okay. Love that. Add it to my list. I'm going to move on to some underrated romances that I really think everyone should read.
Lay it on us.
I don't hear a lot of people talk about these ones as much as they should. The first one is, I was on a really big Renee Carlino binge. I binged all of her backlist, and I'm just absolutely obsessed with her. I need her to come out with more stuff. But Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino. First of all, the cover is absolutely beautiful. This one is definitely more sad. Like, there's sad undertones to it. It's about, there's some cancer involved with it, but it's a really sweet love story, like, at the core of it. Another one by her is Nowhere But Here by Renee Carlino. That one is really, really good. After the Rain by Renee Carlino. Basically, all of her backlist books I would recommend. And I don't hear a lot of people, like, talk about her books at all. I don't see them on Bookstagram or really anywhere. So I would recommend those ones.
You recommended me Say You Swear on This Life by her.
That's what I was just going to say. My two favorite by Renee Carlino. No, it's okay. Or Swear on This Life and Before We Were Strangers. Those are my two favorite. And those are the two that I actually see talked about the most. Like, if I do see her books, and those were the two that, like, I found her through were those ones. And they are both second chance romances. So I would say just like Renee Carlino in general, her backlist, she has pretty good romances.
I'm excited to read Swear on This Life. I actually downloaded it on my Kindle, so I'm gonna do it. Gonna read it.
Finally.
Yeah. Emilee recommended that for me for, like, my 12 books for 12 friends challenge, and I'm excited. So
I think you'll like it. It's good.
Other books for me that I really enjoyed that I feel like maybe got a lot of hype when they first came out, but, like, kind of died down now is, You Had Me at Ola by Alexis Daria. That's, like, that's, like, kind of spicy.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of spicy. And you guys, you know me, you know I forget books, so I'm not going to tell you what they're about. I'm not even going to try. But I remember the vibes, okay? Immaculate.
And that's all that you need. Didn't we meet her at a Polycon?
We did, and she was so nice.
So nice. I was going to say, we're so dumb we forgot to take that book. But she gave us, like, a name
she gave us book plates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And she's got a new book coming out soon. I don't know what it's called, but it's like, I think it's like Dancing with the Stars vibes.
I love Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Well, don't quote me on that's what it's about.
Okay. Forget it. Forget you even said that.
I'm very underqualified to be here. You go.
Okay, so another underrated series. A lot of these are going to be series too, because you guys know that I'm a series girl.
Yeah.
But this is another one. If you're in your cowboy era, the Trails of Sin series by Pam Godwin. They are dirty. They are steamy, and the plots are a little outrageous, but I thought they were so good. I love, like, an outrageous plot with, like, these just, like, sexy cowboys and a lot of spicy rolling around in the hay is happening. So recommend that series. Yeah. And I think everyone's in their cowboy era right now, to be honest with you.
Right. I think so. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple rapid fire. Okay. And you tell me if you've read them or not.
Okay.
The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon.
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cute.
Okay. I thought it was so cute and funny.
Yeah, it was.
I really liked that. That was one of my first, like, I would say my first rom-coms when I joined Bookstagram, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was cute.
Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter Kirkle. This one is such a quick read, and it's so fucking funny. You'll funny. Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
So that one, and then more serious, Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. You've probably seen this book on TikTok. I couldn't describe it to you if I tried, because it is just something, like, I've never read anything like it. Like, sometimes it reads like a play, like it'll literally be like narrator and it'll be like observing it. Then sometimes you're like in their head. Sometimes you feel like you're like zoomed out, like watching them interact, like just all around so unique and beautiful and moving, and like definitely not a traditional love story by any means. But if you want something that's like going to make you think and like feel, I'd recommend it.
Yeah. This doesn't sound like something I would like. And like you kind of even said that you don't know if it would be a book for me, but you like hype it up so much that I want to read it because like I trust your opinion on it, but I'm kind of nervous because I don't want to go into it thinking I'm not going to like it. So maybe I'll let some time pass before I try.
Just pretend I never said anything about it.
That's true. I'll probably forget, honestly, in a couple weeks anyway. So
yeah. Okay.
A few other ones that are underrated, I would say, is Sweet Filthy Boy. It's the Wild Season series by Christina Lauren.
Oh, okay.
So Christina Lauren, they can really write anything. They can write like those sweet, like funny, quirky stories like Josh and Hazel, or they can really write steamy books. And the Wild Season series, I think, is a good mix between like their sweet and quirky and lovable characters and like their Beautiful Bastard series, which is basically porn. So I think the Wild Season series like falls in the middle where you still really like the characters, but you're still getting like a lot of that spice. So I would recommend that series. And the last one I will say is On Dublin Street by Samantha Young. And I can't tell you what that one's about, but I remember really, really liking it.
Nice. I've never heard of that, but I remember we took a quiz a while ago, and I got a recommendation by her.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it was. Okay.
Great.
I'll try it. Another underrated bop, I think, is The Idea of You by Robin Lee. This is like, if you have ever had a crush on a musician, I think you should read this book. A lot of people say Harry Styles, because I think that's like where this stemmed from. But I imagined Nick Jonas when I was reading this book. But it's an age gap romance. Emilee doesn't like that, about a mom who takes her daughter to a concert to see like her favorite band, and she ends up like starting a thing with the lead singer, and they like fall in love and have a relationship, but he's like significantly younger than her.
Yeah.
I think he's like in his 20s and she's in her 40s. So
yeah. Like Jess said, I don't like age gap. This is actually going to be a movie.
Yeah.
And Anne Hathaway is playing Celine. Is that her name? The main character's name. So I actually did start this book, and I probably got 25% through with it. And then you guys know me, I like spoilers. And I read the last page of the book and was so pissed off at how it ended. I didn't finish it. I DNF'd it. I was like, I'm not going to spend time reading this book for it to end this way. Fuck that.
Yeah, the ending is like,
no,
not an HEA, I would say, but it is in some ways.
Yeah. That's a good rec. I feel like that for like a really short period of time took Booksta by like storm. Like that's all anyone talked about. But then, no one talks about it anymore. Like it just like has lost all of its, I don't know, momentum behind it.
Right.
God.
No, you go.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to some romances that will make you cry if you
No.
I know, I got to do it though.
Okay.
If you're ever in the mood for a good cry, I'm not going to go into depth with these because I feel like I will spoil stuff if I talk about why you'll cry. But Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. This isn't like going to have you sobbing by any means, but I definitely teared up a few times just based on the circumstances. Pack Up the Moon. You will cry from beginning to end if you read the synopsis. I mean, it's, you know why you're going to cry. Exodus, I actually did not read this book. I read the first book in the series, but everyone talks about how Exodus, one line in the book will make you sob hysterically. And I actually know, like, I've read that part of the book, even without having any context, and it does seem emotional. Yeah. I mean, you see this everywhere. Like, people will be like, name one book that destroyed you, and it's Exodus. It's the second book.
Don't we like Rainy Days, Baby, or whatever?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I've never read the book either.
Exactly. You just know. I will say it ends with us. I personally didn't like sob at this book, but there were moments that I teared up, and I just think it can be sad in general. Me Before You, that's a really sad one. Just, again, the whole concept sad. All Your Perfects, already talked about that. And then The Song of Achilles. So I'm not going to, like I said, not going to go into depth, but those are all
You read The Song of Achilles?
No.
Okay.
Didn't.
That's fair. That's fair.
No.
Yeah,
I read the first 20% of it, and to be honest with you, it was hard for me to, the writing in it is very different than like your typical, like, easy to understand writing. So I didn't get into it. But again, I'm just going off what other people say for that one in Exodus, and apparently they'll just really break you. So
that's fair. Yeah. I would say romance books that have made me cry. November 9th by Colleen Hoover. Don't know why. Maybe I do actually. Made me cry. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover made me cry. It Ends With Us. I teared up. Mm-hmm. I talked about this last time. I randomly cried at Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. That's not out yet. Cried at that. It really just depends on what phase of my cycle I'm in, I think, is really what it is for me. What else? There's another book that I cried at.
Before I Let Go, I teared up at. I don't know. Did you?
Didn't cry there. Daisy Hates is the second book in the Magnolia Parks series. Yeah. Cried there. I don't know. It was so dumb why I cried too.
Maybe, like you said, like you were maybe just like in that phase of your cycle that did it.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Another one, if you really want to cry, One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I cried for so much of that book. Oh my God. Yeah. That's why I rated it so low, because it just made me so incredibly sad the entire time I was reading it. It's a love triangle. Like, we've talked about this book enough too, so I don't think we need to explain it. But that one, One True Loves, my eyes were swollen for days, I swear.
I don't remember crying at that one, but I probably did. I don't know even what I cry at anymore these days. But, what else do you have? I have maybe like one or two more, that I can bring up.
Well, I think that I don't want to go by trope because we've talked about tropes before, but just some other quick books I think are really solid romances and cover a bunch of different maybe like genres or different kind of like situational romances. Before I Let Go, that was one of our buddy read picks that we've talked about in depth. I think that's a fantastic romance. It's kind of different than your cute, sweet romance. It's about a divorced couple kind of working through the dynamics of, I don't know, having a family. The Friend Zone. That's a series. That series is phenomenal. I love it. The first book in the series and the second book of the series are my favorite. November 9th is on here. Scandalized, if you're looking for something that is really steamy. That's by Ivy Owens. And if you didn't know, she is half of Christina Lauren. She just kind of went on her own and wrote Scandalized. And that was really good. The Kiss Quotient. We read that.
I have that on here.
Both of us really liked that one. I mean, you can go. I didn't know if you had like only a couple books left or.
Yeah. So I have a couple series. The first is the Brown Sisters series by Talia Hibbert. I've talked about this before on here, but Get a Life, Chloe Brown is the first book in the series. And those are like actually like kind of steamy. Steamier than I expected because they have like the cutesy cartoon covers, but then you get into it and you're like, oh damn.
Oh shit.
Shit. Brutal Prince series by, Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. That's like a mafia romance, but, so if you're looking for like a darker romance for V-Day, I would recommend that one. Also, I have on here the Wedding Date series by Jasmine Guillory. I'm not sure how you say her last name, but I think that's like a 6 or 7 book series. And the first book is The Wedding Date. So I think it's actually 5 book series, but The Wedding Date, and then there's The Proposal, Party of Two, The Wedding Party, and Royal Holiday. I really like those books. They're not like groundbreaking in any way, but they're quick. They will make you laugh. And they're steamy, but they're not super steamy. Like there's some steam though.
Yeah. I actually read the first book in that series and then I don't know if I didn't know it was a series or that was kind of when I first started. Because me with series. I would have definitely binged it. But that's when I read that a couple years ago. So maybe I just didn't realize.
It may not have been a series when you read it too.
Oh, that's true. Because it was a little bit ago.
Yeah.
A few more that I have. Megan Quinn. I think those are really cute. We've talked about those ones. So Not Meant to Be. Not So Meet Cute. A Long Time Coming, Royally Not Ready. Those are all really cute, funny. Nothing super groundbreaking, but they're easy reads, cute romances. And then I just have 2 more. Meant to Be by Emilee Giffen. That is kind of a historical fiction, but I don't like historical fiction. So if you don't either, you can read this. It's just based on JFK. So, but it was different. It's definitely like a contemporary romance. It's not steamy by any means, but I thought it was really great. And then The Love of My Life by Rosie Walsh. I got this as a book of the month and I thought it was going to be a really sweet romance. Much darker than I thought it was going to be, but I kind of liked it because it was so unexpected. So
isn't it kind of like Things? What was that book that's becoming a movie? Things He Never Told Us or whatever.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't compare
with
it to
Julia Roberts.
Oh, The Last Thing He Told Me.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't get that vibe, but maybe I'm just blanking on what both of them are about. No, The Last Thing He Told Me. I've never read anything like that. But are we talking about the same movie? Because Julia Roberts isn't in that. That's going to be, she was married to Ben Affleck. What's her name?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay. Actually, we don't know what we're talking about, but The Love of My Life by Rosie Walsh, that was good. It was much different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything that I have on my end.
I'm surprised that you
want
didn't say
what?
Something Louder by Christina Lauren, because you really
I'm trying to not recommend the same things over and over again.
I recommend the same things over and over because those are the ones that I like.
I'll give you 2 that I haven't recommended on the podcast, I don't think. But the first one is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. That is a male romance. So, and it's actually becoming a movie as well. I don't know when it's releasing though. Maybe later this year or next year. I know they're finished filming now.
We were supposed to buddy read that, but I never read it.
Me and you?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. I bought it because we were going to buddy read it, but I never read it.
No, I don't think we were friends when I read this. I read this a couple years ago.
Maybe it was different. Different. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Forget I spoke up.
Paradise by J. Alo. I feel like I've recommended this on here. I've recommended to Emilee before. It's a dirty, dirty book. It would have been the dirtiest book I read last year if I hadn't read Haunting Adeline. So just keep that in mind.
Take that as you will.
Take that as you will.
We'll probably end up throwing books on our guide that we didn't end up talking about just because there are so many romances we read, romances that I forget that I read, to be honest with you. So we'll probably just try and make it all encompassing and throw a lot of books on there. But those are ones that I just included on my guide on my personal page, and that came to mind sitting here talking. So
I think that's amazing.
Okay.
So I guess we can say we are friends with the romance books, but before we say goodbye, let's do a bookmark for this week.
Okay, I have one.
Okay.
What is the steamiest book Jess would have read? if she didn't read Haunting Adeline, that's my dog barking.
Bonus points if you read it too. I don't know what the bonus points will get you, but bonus points if you have read or if you read the book that we're talking about. But Emilee is going to get Lily, so I guess I'll serenade you again. What do you want to hear this week? How about this? Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run this motherfucker? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. I don't know if that's actually the lyrics, but you're welcome. So,
guys, I'm so sorry when I walk away because then I know Jess serenades the ends. I don't know. Hopefully I just got
Emilee,
a package.
guess what song I sang?
I don't know what.
You'll find out.
I guess I'll find out tomorrow. She only goes nuts like that, I swear, when we're recording, because I think that's when like the mail comes. And she still doesn't know what a mailman is. But yeah, did you repeat the bookmark?
Yeah, I repeated it and then I sang them a song and now we are ready to close out this episode.
Great. I agree. I think that we are the best of friends with romance books. So if you want to continue hearing our recommendations and continue listening to our episodes and know what we're going to talk about, make sure you follow us over on our Instagram, Friends with Books Pod. And that's where we announce all of our buddy reads and what our segments are going to be. So yeah, make sure you follow us over there.
Yeah, and join our Facebook group if you haven't already. We have, it's 99 members, but if you take out me, Emilee, and then our Facebook page group as part of the, it's only 96. So for our 100th member, if you join and you're member 100, maybe you'll get a prize.
Maybe
not, but that's all. As always, if you like the podcast, leave us a review. It could be just a rating, but we really like the reviews. It really makes us feel like we're doing something for the world.
Yeah, we haven't had a written review in quite some time. And that's okay, because we like regular ratings too. But I like the ones...
It's not okay. Just
I don't
kidding.
want them to feel bad. It's not okay at all. Go write why you love us, okay?
We need constant reassurance or else
Honest
we'll cry.
to God, I like to hear nice things about myself.
Right. Okay. Well, subscribe to the pod. Leave us a review. And next week, we are talking about X's and O's by Emilee. So make sure you read along with us. And then the following week is Candy Steiner. So lots of exciting stuff to come. Lots of exciting stuff for March. Don't know what it is yet, but I'm sure it's exciting.
Yeah. With that being said, I will say we haven't planned our March content yet, but I think you guys really, really liked when we put a poll on our stories and let yins vote for one of the books that we read.
Yeah.
And so we're probably going to do that again. So keep an eye out for our stories, because we're going to be planning our March content very soon.
Totally. All right. Well,
I think
that's all.
it. Okay.
Bye.
See ya later.